Hey everybody, Shadowy Miles here, and I'm bringing you a tutorial on how to do line art. I'm gonna have to say I'm really sorry for any background noise that you're gonna hear because I'm not sure. I think my mom went out, and my dogs might start barking in the background if you hear them. Anyway, a lot of people have requested this, talking about how they're not quite sure how to do line art, or, sorry, I am totally just any type of shy recording anything. They asked about how I do line art, and well, I think I'm going to try and show you. A lot of people were asking what options I use. If you look over here, usually I use this option right here, which is, it's not the binary, but it's more like a soft type brush, and I use the ink brush there, the one that's highlighted in blue. The size I usually use is about 9, and I have the minimum size at 0, so I can have it as small as I want. As you can see, that's just a very, very light line, but I can go completely really dark, and I don't know if you can see how crisp the lines are, but they're pretty crisp, and I usually have my stabilizer on 13 up at the top here. But that's because I have a shaky hand, so you'll have to forgive me if I have to redo lines and everything. So usually what I do is I start with the eyes, and I usually use, it depends on how big the canvas is. Right now the canvas I'm working on is, I'm not quite sure what the size is. I'll give you the size at the end, because I'm not quite sure what size this canvas is. But usually what I do is I tend to start with the eyes all the time, just because it means I can erase everything later. I tend to use a bigger brush for the eyes, since I like bolder lines on the eyes. I don't know why, but I love bringing attention to the eyes whenever I draw them. I think it's just because, you know, they always say eyes are a window to the soul, I guess. I don't know. I just like bringing a lot of attention to the eyes as much as possible. But usually I vary my lines a lot, depending on which style I'm doing. But I tend to vary the lines a lot. And I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep. I'm probably going to do as much as I can like this and then speed it up, because I'm not quite sure how long this will take. But as you can see, usually I use a pretty big brush, but I have it on the minimum size so that I can just use whatever size is in between there. And I tend to do darker lines where there's going to be shading, or I know there should be bolder lines. I'm trying to keep steady. Try to keep your hands steady. And I'm sorry it's zoomed in so far, but I am terrible at keeping my hands steady. So I tend to zoom in as much as I can. As you can see, I'm just using big strokes, really, I guess thick lines, I'm not sure. And I kind of just decided, you know, to draw whoever I wanted. I just chose a random person and decided to draw them. I sketched this right before this, but I didn't record the sketch. I just wanted to record the line art for you guys. And I'll probably speed this up. And at the end of the video, and put it to music or something, or try at least. I'll try. Right now, usually what I do is I usually do the skin all first. The skin and bottom layers. Layers of whatever line art that are going to be on the bottom. And as you can see, I turn my canvas a lot. I do that because I am used to drawing on paper. And whenever I would draw on paper, I would turn the canvas as much as possible. Just for the simple fact of, well, it's easier when you're able to turn the canvas. And I think that's all. Well, no, I should do the ears too. Like I said, I usually try to do quite a few different things. Bottom layers first, usually. Oops, didn't like how that came out. And you're gonna have to forgive me if I get quiet. I tend to concentrate when I'm drawing, so I feel really, really bad that I just sit here and go, hey, you know, I'm gonna show you a tutorial, but I'm not gonna talk. And you'll see sometimes I tend to do lines over and over. I mess up easily, and if the line isn't perfect, then it bothers the heck out of me. So, and this guy has tufts at the end of his ears, so. Alright, and inside the ears. Sometimes I use really broad strokes, sometimes I use short strokes. It just depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes it doesn't even matter, I just do whatever I can. Oops. And I'll have to forgive you, I feel like my voice is annoying. So. And I'm sorry for the yelling in the background. But, yeah, I'm not really quite sure what to talk about. I feel so weird talking to you guys, and there's just nobody there. Like, there's nobody here watching me or anything. So, let's see, how much time do I have? Oh. Well, you're really kind of seeing me slow down how I'm doing it. And usually what I'll do is I'll put a layer above it here. If you can see that. And then I'll start the other line arting. Like I'll start this here. I'll do this shirt. And after I do this shirt, I'll go down to the previous layer that I was just working on and erase the black that I don't need on here. Just like that, if you can see it. Not quite sure if you can. I hope you do. And I tend to do that. And then I'll merge them together. And then what I do is I'll do the hair. If I could see it. There we go. And sometimes I clean up the lines depending on how sharp I want them or dull I want them. Usually with chibis I don't clean up the lines so much. But when I do stuff like this in my style, I tend to go back and clean up the lines quite a lot. Or I try to make them as perfect as possible the first time so I don't have to go back and clean them up. Oops. This isn't working. And, oop. Yeah, that's good. And, alright, so I'm going to have to stop here, and I'm going to go ahead and speed it up for you guys. So you can just see the rest of the video and the rest of the processing. I'll see if I can put some music to it. And I hope you enjoy.